We're in the middle of June, and it is now time to take a final look as to any possible additions to our portfolio. A very busy time normally for us because there are a lot of wineries, nice wineries out there that are looking for representation in the market of Alberta. So today we received 5 different wines from a winery in Alto Adige, and I thought that might be a nice way to demonstrate as to how we go about making selections for the Enotri portfolio. Normally I would like to have my team with me, but given the circumstances that we still are very, very cautious and social distancing, I will have to make those executive decisions on my own today. So what we have today here are 5 different wines, 3 whites, 2 reds. My first step, so the tools that are required to do conductor tasting like that are your trusted corkscrew, a couple of glasses. I like to have a separate glass for red and one for white, a dump bucket, very, very essential, a glass of water to cleanse your palate in between, and away we go. First thing that I always look at, I evaluate the bottle. What kind of bottle is the winery using? There are lighter weights and heavier weights, and normally when you get samples, when you get wines shipped to you from a winery that is using lightweight bottles, it means that they're normally higher volume and they're more accustomed to dealing with the people like the LCBO, the SAQ, or the big supermarkets in Germany and in Europe, where the weight of a casing of a wine is essential to bring the cost down. So first thing that I noticed with this winery, they're nice weight to them, so they're not lightweight bottles. They have the perfect color for me to protect the wine from the influence of the light, because once they get here, they will sit on the shelf for a little bit. So darker glass will protect the content, the wine in the bottle, much better than lighter glass. So these are 2 very, very good important points. Normally I would also check out the cork, but I had to learn that I have to become a little bit more flexible in that sense. Natural corks have become a problem for all of us in the industry, and wineries, of course, they're very conscious and they're very ambitious or focused on trying to protect the quality of the wine in the bottle as much as they can. So a lot of them are using now composite corks of a higher quality level, and synthetic corks as well. Normally I'm not a big fan of that, but like I said, I have to become a little bit more flexible and forgiving. So we will start with the white wines. And the first wine is actually a grape variety. So the winery is located in Alto Adige, a beautiful part of Italy, in northern Italy. It's great for Germans like me who don't speak Italian. We go to a foreign country, but we can still speak German. It's fantastic. So, but it is very, very scenic, part of the Dolomites, and the level of gastronomy, of restaurants and food is fantastic, and along with that goes the wine. By nature, the people in Alto Adige are very, let's say, confident in what they're doing. Not as flexible as us Germans, but they do produce fantastic food, fantastic wines, wonderful apple orchards as well, peaches, all these things. Grüner Veltliner is normally a grape variety that you associate with Austria. This particular winery found a few rows and planted them in his Eichberg vineyard. It smells nice. Now, when I evaluate wine, I'm not looking to identify apple or peach or citrus flavors. What I'm looking for in a wine is that it provides a perfect harmony between the 5 key elements that make up the flavor profile of a wine. And these 5 elements are fruit, acidity, tannins, alcohol, and sweetness. Now, when this harmony exists, it's almost a little bit like the umami effect in food with ripened tomatoes, with aged beef, with mushrooms, everything where all the individual flavor components come together and give you that mouthfeel, that comfort level as you taste the wines. So this is what I'm always looking for, the harmony for these wines. of these wines, and then at the end, do I like it or don't I like it? Everything else, it doesn't really matter all that much. It is nice. There is a very good balance there. Wonderful acidity. So this wine right now, it is a 2018 vintage. It will certainly last another 10 years easily. So that is all good. Now look at it. Does it have the typicity of its terroir, of Alto Adige, and how does that then compare with what I expect of a Grüner Veltliner? And there I have to say it is an interesting wine, but it doesn't hit on the other notes that I'm looking for. So basically you can taste the terroir, you can see the handwriting of the enologist. It is there, but it doesn't really, for me, it doesn't represent, this is not a typical representative of this grape variety. So on this one, I believe I will take a pass. Next up is his Pinot Grigio. Now, Alto Adige is considered to be probably the premium growing region for Pinot Grigio in Italy. Another one is a part of Friuli, close to the Croatian border, with a very specific flavor profile. The Alto Adige Pinot Grigio, the vineyards benefit there from the higher elevation, so that enhances the natural fruitiness and the acidity level of this particular grape variety. Yes. Alto Adige by nature will never be as inexpensive as, let's say, wines from the Veneto area. The cost of living is very high in Alto Adige. The real estate is very, very expensive, and yields are naturally a lot lower than in the little bit lower elevated vineyards in the Veneto. So all of that combined, you will pay more for Pinot Grigio from Alto Adige, but as long as the structure and the complexity of the wine supports this price point, then it is money well spent. It is a Pinot Grigio for the weekend, let's say, and maybe you have if Pinot Grigio is your favorite white wine to enjoy during the week, you can easily go to this one for a more special occasion. So this one is an absolute yes. Next up is a unique grape variety. So that is also the other thing that I look for when we look at adding wines to our portfolio potentially, is how does it fit within our portfolio? So meaning that I avoid to create an internal competition within my portfolio. So every wine needs to have its place in our lineup. And this now is a Gold Muscatella. So here on this label, they're using the German word for it. The Italian name would be Moscato Giallo. In France, in the Alsace, it is another region that works a lot with this grape variety. It's called Muscat. And that is one of my favorite wines because it's very, very unique. It has similar aromatic properties like the Gewürztraminer, but it's a little bit leaner. It's not as overpowering normally as a Gewürztraminer can be, especially from the Alsace with a high alcohol. Wonderful aromas. It is very expressive in the nose. 2019 vintage. It will also easily last. It has long staying power, you can tell. A totally different flavor profile to the Pinot Grigio, but once again, the key element here is the harmony is there. Everything fits together. It is more aromatic, so the Pinot Grigio you will have with more standard dishes, white sauce, pasta, fish, grilled chicken breast, things like that. The Gold Muscatella I can see working very well with salads, with a Thai dressing, Vietnamese inspired cuisine, Asian inspired cuisine in general. Not too heavy, so not so much like the Indian spice box, but other than that, wonderful for any kind of aromatic dish to match. The Gold Muscatella, whether we bring it in as Gold Muscatello or Moscato Giallo, I will discuss with the team. Either one will be fine. I love this one. So now, done with the whites, on to the reds. We have two red wines here. One is a single vineyard Bachcard Pinot Noir, or as they call it in the German-speaking part there, Blauburgunder. Now Alto Adige, remember, its vineyards are partly in the Dolomites, so it's a little bit higher elevation. Wonderful diurnal temperatures, warm during the day, cool at night. And when I look at this wine, at this Pinot Noir, now Pinot Noir typically doesn't produce the same kind of a color as a Merlot or a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Malbec would, which are grapes that are typically grown in warmer regions. It is a cooler climate red wine, and therefore you also get a slightly lighter color, but it can be very deceiving, very similar to Nebbiolo from Piedmont. Has a very similar color profile to the Pinot Noir. So you look at it and you think, it's a lighter style of wine. Very nice aromas. You can smell that the tannins are ripe and well integrated. Nice, very, very nice. It is probably one of the nicest Pinot Noirs that I had out of the Alto Adige region. So now I have to look at it in the context of what else we have on the market in our portfolio. How does it fit in with the range of Pinot Noirs that we already have here? Will it compete with something that we have, or will it fit into a niche that we haven't presently covered? So this is a thing that where I have to, in terms of the wine style, in overall character, it is a yes. I will now have to make a decision as to how it fits into our marketing strategy, and if we believe we can find clients for it and fans for it. The next one, I'm really looking forward to this one. I've had it a few years ago when I visited the area the last time. The grape variety is called Lagrein. Now this is a grape that you normally only find, at least in Italy, you will find it in Trentino and Alto Adige. So two neighboring regions in northern Italy. Lagrein, you can also see at the color, it's a lot more concentrated than the Pinot Noir. It has some purple tinges to it, so that is usually a sign of a younger wine, but beautiful color concentration. And whenever I smell a well-made Lagrein like this, what the picture that comes into my mind is basically a charcuterie board with Trentino or Alto Adige Speck, with some local cheeses, some salami, some pickles. You enjoy it under the blue sky and the sun, and life is really, really good. Beautiful depth of flavors, concentration. The tannins are smooth, ripe, well integrated. Right now, I'm a bit on a keto plan, so back there I have some dark chocolate keto snacks. I taste this wine and I would like to grab one of these little chocolate pieces and enjoy it with this wine. That would be perfect for it because of the ripeness of the tannins and the structure. So this one is a definite yes as well. So we'll probably typically, if things go back to normal again in terms of shipping and logistics, it will take us about 3 months to bring wines into the market. So I'm really hopeful that we can have it here for October, getting into the Christmas season. So yes, you can look forward to seeing the wines from Klaus Lensch in our portfolio and on our market. I would show you the other labels as well, but unfortunately the courier had a little bit of an accident with a case of wine. 4 bottles broke and kind of ruined the rest of the labels. But Klaus Lensch is the estate. He is he is part of a very well-established, well-known, famous viticultural family in Alto Adige. He branched out on his own about 10, 15 years ago. Him and his wife established the estate of Klaus Lensch, and he has, in a short period of time, has really established a fantastic reputation for himself, and I'm glad that we could convince him to join the Enotri community. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation, and hopefully you will look forward to trying these wines once they get here. Thank you.